Alright, we're picking up right back where we left off here. Again, my name is Max. I'm here to teach you a little bit about Aurora. We're going over the rest of the economic screen. I did forget to mention planetary governor, secretary governor. This is your leaders. We'll get into that later, but this shows you who is in control of Earth. Hide CMC. We don't want to see the civilian mining colonies, for example, so you can click that. We don't have civilian mining colonies at the moment. Group by function. Instead of you seeing this populate systems up above here, and you break it down by different systems, you can group by function, and that way you can see, well, these ones are populated, these ones we have mining, these ones are civilian, and so on. This just helps you keep it organized. Capital, if you clicked on Luna and you click capital, that would make it the capital screen. You can rename the different ones, so instead of Luna, we're going to call it the Moon. Production overview, this gives you a shortcut to seeing the production overview screen. We'll get into that later. Sectors, a shortcut to the sector screen. Transfer, if you want to send it to another empire, we'll not be covering that in the tutorial. Refresh all. This just is a refresh button. Geological status, shortcut to that screen. Design, shortcut to designing tech screen. Turrets, turrets and missiles. If you want to design, well, we don't have it going on. If you want to design turrets and missiles, this is where you come to do it. Alright, let's jump into industry here. Industry, this is how you build different things. Each one has its own reason you'd want it. And you have different options. So if you want to build missiles, fighters, anything else here, PDC, planetary defense centers, this is where you would come to do it. We don't have any missiles or fighters to be built yet, so these ones are going to be, okay, we have the ICBM, don't even worry about it. Fighters, we don't have any fighters that are prepared, so we're just looking at installations. Automated mines, let's say you had a colony that was just very rich, but you couldn't put people on there. An automated mine could solve that problem, and it would mine for you without the use of people, as opposed to the regular mine where you would require population. The difference between the two is the automated mine costs twice the amount. This is the cost. Duranium and corundium, one of them is 120, the other is 240, and that's based on your resources. So those get expensive, the automated mines, but they're absolutely vital. Commercial shipyard complex, that's opposed to the naval shipyard, and the naval shipyard produces military, and the commercial does the commercial, believe it or not. Construction factories. Right now we have 420 construction factories going on that produces 4,200 points of build points. So in 1 year, it'll build, okay, so you have automated mines, 240. Alright. Your construction, at this rate, if all you did was automated mines, in 1 year, you would build, divided by 240, get 17.5 automated mines pumped out. Alright, there's a way to speed this up in research, or you can build more construction factories. Converting a mine to automated, you have a bunch of mines, but they're just sitting around being worthless, and you'd rather put them on a comet, for example. You can convert all your mines to automated, but there's a loss of 30, so you can build a bunch of mines, but you're and then convert them to automated. It's better just to do automated because it's to convert them, it costs 150, and a mine with 120, well, there's a loss of 30 resources there. So it's best to just build what you need and not convert it. But this comes in handy when we run out of minerals on Earth. A deep space tracking station. This is essentially how you can sense other ships that come into the range of the planet that they're on. They can be moved. You see this listening posts. Well, you put those on deep space planetary bodies, and that way it provides a sensor on another planet that's actually pretty powerful. Could be worth it for an early defense system, early alert system. A fighter factory is the same thing as a construction factory, except that they create fighters. And right now we have 60 of them producing 600 points of fighters. Financial centers, these help gain wealth, and we'll get into that later, but a financial center gives you the equivalent of 1 million people's taxes, if memory serves. It's been a while. A fuel refinery, we have 200 of them right now, and they produce 4 million liters per year. Building more speeds up that annual production. Ground force training facilities. When we get to ground forces, this is how you build more ground forces at a more rapid rate. Infrastructure. This is your basic infrastructure for putting on different planets and helping them breathe or preserve in the incredible heat or the incredible cold. This is important at the beginning just to have. The maintenance facilities for your different ships. When they get old, you'll want to have these. Mass drivers are important because they help you transport minerals. We'll get into what those exactly do a little bit later. Military academy, where I talked about that, helps get more crew and officers. You'll want a little bit more than that. What we have is one. We're going to want more than just the level 1. Naval shipyard complex, we already talked about. Mines, we talked about. Ordnance factory builds missiles, just like fighter production. We have 60 of them, but we have 120 ordnance factories. Excuse me. Right here we have a research lab. I'm going to get a cup of water. Excuse me. Alright, excuse me. I guess you can say I was getting a little hoarse. Nay. Alright, we left off with research labs. Absolutely vital to becoming a strong power. Technology is what drives this game forward, just like any strategy game, just like any 4X game, except Dwarf Fortress doesn't have technology, does it? Spaceport. That helps your ships, your commercial ships, load and unload faster. It's always important on major plans to have a lot of spaceports. Terraforming installations are essentially the way to get atmosphere and control temperatures on other planets. The moon, for example, does not have an atmosphere, and you can tell that by the environment. Total atmospheric pressure 0, whereas Earth has 1 ATM, which is 1 atmospheric pressure is basically it's always based on Earth. It's a ratio of Earth, and since the moon doesn't have one, it's going to be 0. But that's how that's how you would produce atmosphere, is through a terraforming installation. What are we looking at here? 9 minutes? Jeez, I am going real slow. I'm promising to speed this up a little bit more, but yeah, hopefully the next one's going to be the last one. We're going to breeze through a lot of these concepts on this economic screen.